Welcome to Skill Station 10, aka the Double High Five Station. So right now we have a robust workstream for processing expense pre-approval requests. However, our request forms could use more detail. Requesters need to be able to add a description of the expense and the amount that they're requesting. So let's give them the opportunity to add line items to explain where the money is going. Today we're going to enhance our forms to enable requesters to submit requests with this information. We will accomplish this with subforms and rollup fields. So let's go to our stream definition canvas. And create a new version of our workstream. Make some notes for the logs. And let's start by creating a new data component in which we will store expense line items. So in your components catalog, on the right side of your screen, hover your mouse over the data components title to reveal the new function and click on that. And notice here in your data component, there are multiple tabs. So on the general tab, we're going to give it a title and we will call this data component line items. Next, on the Fields tab, we will add a new field by clicking on that new field button. We'll give this new field a title of expense description. The type of information that this field will contain will be text, so select that in the type pull-down menu. Save your field first. Add a second field by clicking on that new field button. Give it a title of amount. And the type of information that this field will contain will be currency, so choose that in the pull-down menu. And we want to see up to 2 decimal places, so we will leave that there. Now let's create one more field. Give it the title of category. And in this field, we're going to give requesters choices with which they can categorize their expense requests. So in the type pull-down menu, select enumeration. This will unfurl a row with 2 columns. The label column is what will show in the user interface, while the value column is what is stored in the database. Thus, you can make the two identical or create internal values that correspond with your systems of record. So for example, the label could be travel while the value would be TRV. Labels can be changed at any time without impacting what is stored in the database. So click on the Add Another Choice text until we have 3 rows. We will give users 3 choices. Travel, means, boarding. So type those into the labels and the value will auto-populate. You could sort these alphabetically, you could make these required if you like, or you could create a custom configuration by supporting a user preference. Save your field, save your changes to the data component. You should now have 2 data components in your data components catalog. Now, because one request can have multiple line items, we need to link the line items data component to the request data component. So click on the request data component to open it. Go to the field tab to add a new field. Click on the new field button to do that. Give it a title, line items. And tell PulseStream that this type of information is in a child data list by selecting that in the type pull-down menu. So this information is in our line items data component. So in the pull-down menu options below, you can sort the items that are present in this by a variety of categories that are available to you in that pull-down menu. You can also sort by ascending or descending. I'm going to sort it by ascending. If you like, you can leave it unsorted. This would lead to items staying in the order that they were entered. So save the field, save your changes to the data component. And next, we're going to create a new form with the line items data component. So in the components catalog on your stream definition canvas, hover your mouse over the forms title to reveal the new function and click on that. And in the new form pop-up menu, we will select the data component for the form and we will choose line items. Save your changes, and this takes you to the new form editing page. On the right side of the screen in the available fields section, you will see the 3 fields that we just created. So drag all of these into your new section and make them required by selecting Required in the Field Attributes pull-down menu. Notice that also on this field tab, there's an option called Display As. And these options appear when text and enumeration fields are dragged onto a form. So for enumeration fields, Display As allows you to configure the way that this is displayed on an interface. We're going to leave that as is, which will default to displaying the choices in our enumeration field as a pull-down menu. So save your changes to the form and save the form as line items form. There are now 3 forms in the form section of your components catalog. We need to edit the request form to embed the line items field that we created earlier into our request data component. So hover your mouse over the request form that's in the form section to reveal the edit function and click on that to open it up. On the right side of the request form edit pop-up in the available fields, you will see that line items is a field available for use. So click on it and drag it over into the body of your general page. Put it directly below the description field. Since this is a child data list field, you will see additional fields in the configuration pop-up window that appears right after you drop the field onto the page. We want this to display as a document list. We want the field attributes to be required. The add edit form is the form that will be used to enter each line item. So we shall select the line items form. And the grid fields area will configure what fields you want shown on the grid, such as description, amount, and category. So select those. And last but not least, the compute field selects what fields you want to total. So that would be amount. Make the field tab of your line items look like this. Save your changes, and you should see the new line items field appear below the description field. Save your changes, and thus concludes our configuration. At this stage, you could create a test record to see if the changes that we made worked. You would click on the gear icon to the right of your check-in button, and in the pull-down menu, select Create Test Record. And on the general form, you would start to see your totals being computed underneath the line items. Given this, the amount field becomes redundant, so that should automatically be rolled up. We're going to tackle that in our next skill station. So go back to your stream definition canvas and check in your stream. Enter some change log comments and check in your stream.